Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here this morning. If you're out there, send me a little message. Let me know you're here this morning. Be nice to know someone's watching. The well, just to feel like it's making a difference somewhere. So we'll begin today with our breathing exercises as we always do. We breathe in through our nose, we breathe, we hold, and we breathe out through our mouth. So again, we breathe in through our nose, we hold, and we breathe out through our mouth. And so we begin. Hold, in through the nose, hold, in through the nose, hold, in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. Open our eyes if you had them closed. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. It's good to see you. Good morning, Shireen. Nice to see you this morning. I salute you. I salute you as the presence of God wherever you are, and all is well. Good morning, Mary Lee. We are all one. All things are one thing. There's only one thing, and all things are part of the one thing there is. This means that you are divine. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are not your soul. You are the unique combination of all three, which comprises the totality of you. You are an individuation of divinity, an expression of God's truth on earth, an expression of God on earth. And that comes to us from, whoops, there we go. What God Wants by Neale Donald Walsch. And it goes on to say, Let there be a new gospel for all the people on earth. We are all one. Ours is not a better way. Ours is merely another way. The key question for a very long time: what new ideas could expand our ancient story sufficiently to offer brand new possibilities for an entire species? It is not about a new spirituality, a new comprehension, or a revised comprehension of the totality of existence does not reject or abandon previous perceptions. Contemporary ideas of what I have come to call the new spirituality might offer one outline for those additions. They could at least offer a basis for opening discussions, for beginning exploration. Because what we know is that all of the models of religion that are practiced and experienced on the planet Earth today have not brought peace and harmony and unity and oneness and joy and peace and happiness to our world. All of the great religious leaders who didn't begin as religious leaders, they just began as people speaking truth as they perceived it. Christ did, Jesus, the Buddha, Lord Krishna, Lao Tzu, Confucius, Baha'u'llah, and on, were not great spiritual leaders when they were living and speaking their truth. They became great religious leaders after they were no longer here. And mankind picked up their mantle and carried it for them. But something is lost in the process because death and destruction and selfishness and anger and fear continue to permeate our planet, continue to operate all the systems that are functioning. Competition is the big deal. Who gets more? Who has more? Who gets to control what's going on? Who has more land? Who has less land? What tribe is controlling this side of the river? What tribe is controlling that side of the river? Oh, you want what we got on our side of the river? Then you're going to have to sacrifice something you have on that side of the river. And by sacrifice, we mean you got to give it to us. I have come to call the new spirituality might offer one outline for those additions. They could at least offer a basis for opening discussions, for beginning explorations. This will not happen if people see such explorations as rejections or abandonments of humanity's ancient story. For we hold that the story, for we hold that story dear to our hearts, as well we should. It has, after all, gotten us this far. Yes, there have been some stumbling blocks along the way with science, with technology, with all of the material aspects of expansion. We have in each case experienced some sort of stumbling blocks. There's been delays on the evolutionary journey of science, medicine, technology, but nothing that we allow to stop us completely, like we have with religion. Religion, in each case, for each sect or denomination, is a dead experience. It has not changed or expanded in centuries. What is needed now on earth is a civil rights movement for the soul, freeing humanity at last from the oppression of its belief in a violent, angry, and vindictive God, and releasing our species from a spiritual doctrine that has created nothing but separation, fear, and dysfunction around the world. We need to replace this dogma finally with cooperation, understanding, compassion, generosity, and love. The first step is to initiate a global conversation that begins with a rarely asked blunt question. Honestly, and without bias, would you say that our world's belief system, including its religions, has produced the outcomes for which humanity has yearned? Any of us who would ask that question of ourselves honestly, genuinely, could only answer no, they have not. All of the religions of the world have not produced a harmonious chord with the human consciousness. The perception of each of these to the human beings practicing them is my religion is correct and your religion is not correct. My religion is right and your religion is wrong. My religion will get you to heaven, nirvana, enlightenment, and your religion will not. And therefore, we justify greed and power grabs and control by saying our belief process, our religion is the right religion. Therefore, we are justified in eliminating you and taking your stuff. At some point in each of our lives, we must ask ourselves that question. At some point in each of our lives, we must choose to take action that is inclusive or to take action that is exclusive. There are huge movements in the world today to legislate equality. I firmly embrace that the only way we can legislate equality is through bitter, harsh, mortal conflict. We must learn to accept each other as we are. Make sure that we have food to eat. Make sure that we have shelter for our bodies. Make sure that we have medicine and that the disease that is all over the world is in check so that people can live without fear. The appropriate action is for the human race to join together and create a space without the fear of mortal experience simply trying to exist on the planet. Shelter is required, water is required, food is required, clothing is required. Those are the fundamental requirements that each human being needs, regardless of where they are on the planet, to live or simply just to be as a human. This is what is required for a new, an expanded, an Aquarian age spiritual consciousness. We must strive to find unity. And it's not in some political system or another. And it cannot be legislated upon us. We must choose. We must choose. And the choice basically boils down to I am and you are the same experience, the same thing. Regardless of where you are, regardless of how you look, regardless of what you have, regardless of what you do not have, we are the same. We are the manifestation of God wherever we are. And we are only separated by our fear that someone's going to get what we have or someone's going to keep us from getting what we want. Fear and envy are the cornerstones of all the distrust, all of the inharmony, all of the dis-ease in the human race on the planet Earth today. I challenge you to embrace unity. I challenge you to embrace oneness. I challenge you to find commonality with your fellow human being, regardless of the situation. If no other possible commonality exists, the commonality of breathing air makes us all one. I salute you as the presence of God wherever you are. I acknowledge you as the presence of God wherever you are. I admire you as the presence of God wherever you are. and all is well. Namaste, namaste, namaste.